Okay, welcome everyone to this Yuen method demo. This one's going to be specifically on eliminating pain and stress. My name is Chaim Alexander, and I'm a Yuen method certified master and teacher. So this call is going to be a little bit different than the calls I usually do. If some people who are on the call know that I usually don't talk too much on the call. I usually just go straight to it. But because this is more of an intro or like an info call about the Yuen method plus my upcoming class in NYC, so I'm going to be talking a little bit, not too much, and also I'll be answering any questions you may have about the upcoming class in New York. So first, what is Yuen method mastery? So there is a little bit different than the old Yuen method because there may be some people on the call or who are listening to the recording want to know what the difference is. And one of the key things of the difference is that in Yuen method mastery, you really need to know how to distinguish between strong and weak and insight. That is the foundation, strong and weak and insight. So once you take, if you've taken the class before, then you understand what I'm saying, but otherwise it doesn't really matter for now. But strong and weak and insight is really, really key, and also it works a lot faster, Yuen method mastery, and it's a lot simpler. So that is one of the things with Yuen method mastery. My upcoming class is going to be in New York, NYC, in Manhattan, and it's going to be on July 31st, and that's the first day, and the second day is going to be on August 2nd. So it's Friday, July 31st, and Sunday, August 2nd. So later, I'm also going to talk a little bit about, my teaching style. And then I'm also going to share a bonus for people on the call. So I'll share that at the end of towards the end of the call. So before I continue, let me start assisting people on the call. So what I'm going to do is, if you like assistance or if you have any questions or both, just press *6 and you'll be placed in the queue. So *6 will place you in the queue. Okay, so we're going to go to our first caller, and that's the area code is the last digits is 26. Hello, are you there? 26 is the last two digits. Maybe you muted yourself. See if you can unmute yourself. Your phone is muted. 26. Okay, you can try to come back again in the queue. I'm going to go to the next one, and that is 73.
Hello?
Hello? Yes.
Yes, I have pain in my hip, knee, and knee down to the ankles.
Hip, knee down to the ankles.
Yeah, and that includes the Achilles tendons.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So can you sense how your hip pain feels right now?
Right now, I'm right at a regular edge 8.
Right. Okay, is it your right hip or left hip?
Right hip.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen your central nervous system. So that's weakening it right there. So I'm going to strengthen the central nervous system, and the connection between your left hip to your left brain, there's a weakness there. So I'm going to strengthen that connection back and forth. The second part is your right elbow. I'm going to strengthen that too. And then your right knee, I'm going to strengthen that too in connection to your right hip that you're saying you have pain in. So now, when I think of right hip, the right hip connecting with your left shoulder, there's a weakness there, so I'm going to strengthen that. And the next thing I'm going to strengthen is any spiritual experiences that are causing that. Okay, so now when you check your hip, is it the same or different?
Let's see. It's a little better. Still
Well,
pain.
still pain. So for the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up your perception. And what's affecting your perception is your mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen that. And now I'm going to integrate your brain to integrate with your central nervous system. There's a weakness there, so I'm going to strengthen that. Okay, now when you check your hip again, how is that, the same or different?
It's not the same.
So is it more or less?
It's a little better.
Okay. So next one, I'm going to strengthen you. So you have some karma. And so the karma is specifically with other doctors and specifically surgeons. So I'm going to strengthen that and delete any of that on both ends. Okay, so now that karma is gone. And the next one is limitations. So any connections to limitations you had with past doctors, there's a weakness there. So I'm going to strengthen you for that and delete. And also their limitations is also affecting you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen that for you. Okay, now when you check the pain, is it the same or different?
It's now moved into the knee.
Okay, so what about the hip? Is the hip pain still there?
It's the hip is better, but it's the quadricep that attached to the knee right now. It moved into the quadricep down to the knee.
Okay, so the hip is better, or is it better or gone in the hip?
Let me see. It's better.
Okay, so traveling. So every time you travel, in general, there's a weakness there, and then the next weakness is when you travel to the kitchen. There's a weakness there. So we're going to strengthen you to that. And anytime other people travel, that affects you. So I'm going to strengthen that for you. Okay, and then feeling good. There, you have a weakness to feeling good, and that's coming from your ancestors. So let me strengthen you to that. Okay, so now when you check your hip, how is your hip now?
I sat down, and the pain came back.
So you sat down. Okay, so you sat down. So anytime you reset, there's a weakness there. So when your body resets, it weakens it, because anytime you go back to a new, that weakens you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to that and delete any cumulative effects, and that's coming from your ancestors too. So anytime they move to a new place, that weakened them. So I'm going to strengthen that and delete that from you. Okay, things coming back from the future. In the future, it weakens you, especially if something old, some old friend comes back, that weakens you. So I'm going to strengthen you to that and delete any cumulative effects there. Okay, so now how is your hip?
Let's see. At this point, the pain again is moved from the hip back down to that quadricep to the knee.
Okay.
And the hip is better.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for evenness between the top and the bottom of your body. Your lymphatic system is weak, so I'm going to strengthen that, and that's more of the bottom part of your lymphatic system. So what we're going to do is we're going to strengthen that and make that strong to integrating with your midline. So the communication back and forth is pretty strong. And then the next thing is your lymphatic system connecting with the black holes inside and outside of your body, back and forth, will make that strong for you. And then the feng shui of your bedroom is weakening you too. So I'm going to strengthen that and delete that and make it even to the rest of the planet. Okay, now how is your hip now?
The hip is pain from sitting is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But it is still radiating from the hip down. Like
okay.
It's still going down instead of now the pain directly at the hip.
Okay, so I'm going to strengthen your exit portals and the bottom of your feet. And there's some blockages there, and that is from blood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break that down to subquantum particles and connect that to your midline, so it can have it keep moving out of your system. Okay, how about now?
Still strong.
Okay, so is it the same or different?
I can't detect the difference.
You can't detect the difference. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen So there's a weakness to mental knowing. So I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen that for you and delete any cumulative effects there. And the next one is I'm going to strengthen the physical improvements. So your body is strong to improving physically. And the next one is the fitness of your body. So I'm going to make that strong, so increase your physical fitness. All right. So now, when you think about it, how does that feel right now? Is it the same or different?
It's a little better.
It's a little better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen your mind because there's too much mind going on there again. And the next thing is I'm going to strengthen you for things being different. And then the third thing I'm going to strengthen you for is what we call misfit, and that's slowness. So we'll make you strong to slowness. So if things happen slow, it doesn't weaken you. But the opposite, if they happen fast, it weakens you. So I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you that, and also strengthen your fitness, more specifically your agility, so you can keep up with the speed. Okay, how about now?
We're checking it out right now. Let's see.
Okay.
The Achilles tendon, in a sense, feel a little bit better, but the what do you call it? The calf is still feeling tight.
Okay, and the hip?
And the hip, it goes back and forth. It's better, and then every once in a while, when I change position, it increases, and then it comes back down to where it can be tolerated.
Okay, so so what I want you to do is I want you to tense your midsection. You know what I mean by tensing? Like tighten it up as tight as you can and then let it go. Tighten up as tight as you can and let it go. Do that like 5 times.
Let's try it.
Okay, now how does it feel now?
Oh. I'm trying to move it around. Oh, the knee is the same. The quadricep is less pain down, and I think the Achilles tendon is what's causing the calf muscle to be tight because I'm pulling on it when I try to lean forward.
And what about your hip?
My hip is, I gave it a 9 when we started. Right now, it's about a 7.
So only 2 points. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to continue tensing throughout the call, and then you come back on the call, and then we'll check in with you again.
Okay.
So continue with this. Continue with the tensing.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay. So we're going to go to the next caller, and that is 4149.
Yes, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. I'd like you to work on my right hip and both my knees. When I walk a block, the pain goes from like a 5 to a 10, and I barely can walk. And I would also like to know, is this permanent or is it temporary, or how often do we have to be treated?
Okay. So first, let's start with the pain, and then I'll answer that question. So, so you said your both knees?
Yes.
And your hip, right?
Yes.
So can you sense your right hip? So can you sense your knees right now? How do they feel right now?
About a 6.
About a 6. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to left knee. So I'm going to start with the left knee. So that's the right shoulder, your backbone, your left scapula. So I'm strengthening that for you. Your right cheekbone and your forehead. So I'm going to strengthen that 5 for you. Okay, so now check your knee and see how that feels. Any same or different?
I feel more in the right knee.
Okay, so the left knee went down, but the right knee is still more. Okay, so the next thing is your right hip. So I'm going to strengthen that, and that's coming from your sternum, and then your left clavicle, and your cervical spine. So I'm going to strengthen that for you. And then also again the forehead. Okay, and then we're going and your left finger. Okay, so now strengthen that. So now when you check your knees, how are they now?
Okay, they feel a lot better, but both my calves are now tight.
Okay, so calves tight. So I'm going to strengthen your hands. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to strengthen is the mitochondria on your body to make that strong for you. And inside the cells, I'm also going to strengthen that. And the black holes inside your body. How about now?
It feels lighter, except I feel like there's something hard in my left calf, like
Okay.
a ball or something.
Okay, so the knees are still painful?
No.
Okay, and the hip?
Yes, that's about a 4.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for mistaken identity, and that's more specifically emotion. So what's happening is emotions and sensations. So anytime you have emotion, it triggers sensations too. So what I'm going to do is I make that strong and make it strong from separating from each other. So it's not the same. And the next thing I'm going to strengthen is your exit portals. And then I'm going to strengthen the exit portals more specifically in your toes and your left toes more specifically. Okay, now check the hip.
That does feel better. It feels looser.
And how about that ball that you were talking about?
Gone.
Okay. So the question that you asked, how is it, do you need to, how many sessions do you need? What I would say, it depends. Some people, one session, some people need more. So, but each session, it's supposed to get easier and easier. So exactly how many sessions, I can't tell you. But it's not a system where you have to go on for a whole year type of program or 6 months type of program.
And if people listen to the replay with the same problems, do they get help?
Yes and no. So when you listen to the replay, if it's a leading weakness for you, then yes. If not, it's just it just strengthens you. It just strengthens you. So you get the benefit, but it may not totally resolve it because you are getting the benefit of the strengthening, but it could be on because you can have 100 different weaknesses why that is causing, but in the UN method we work on the leading weaknesses, so it may cover the lower ones. I mean not the lower. I mean the ones like let's say 90 or 100 or 80, and those weaknesses. So you'll feel some improvement. But when you do one-on-one, you're getting the leading weaknesses. If it happens to be that call is it happens to be together, I mean, your leading weakness, then yes, you can get.
Oh, so this can be done for group sessions as well as individual?
Yeah, so as I'm working now, it's also working on everybody else too at the same time.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. We're going to go to the next caller, and that is 62.
Hi, so I'm calling about an emotional pain.
Okay.
So it's really, I think frustration about, well, right now it's about my polarity being off or reversed, but...
About what?
My polarity isn't right, it's off. Sometimes it's
Okay.
reversed, sometimes it's off, and it just frustrates me.
Okay. So can you sense how you feel about that?
I feel stuck or just
okay. So
unable to do things.
Okay. So first of all, it's not your polarity. Your polarity is not off. So the first weakness is the misinformation that's what that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for that and delete any cumulative effects. The second thing that it is that insisting that that's what it is when it's not, that also makes it 1,000 times worse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for that and delete any cumulative effects there. And then the third one would be, but that's not the third one. So the third one is mental energy. So there's a lot of weakness in mental energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for your mental energy and delete any cumulative effects there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen your what we call your physical potential. So I'm going to strengthen that in general, and then what's affecting it is your physical awareness. So that's a weakness there. So what happens is you're too much in your spirit and not enough in your physical body. So that's weakening you more and more. So I'm going to strengthen you for that and delete, and make you strong from separating from your spirit. So your spirit leaving your body, that weakens you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen that, and that's coming from other practitioners. So information from other practitioners is weakening you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to any misinformation from other practitioners and their weaknesses that's affecting you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for that and delete any cumulative effects there. Okay, so now when you think about the frustration that you have, how do you feel? Is it the same or different?
It's still there. I just feel that it's kind of disabling. Like it's, because I want to take the class. I want to learn the Yuen method.
Before we go to the class, let's go focus on your feeling right now.
Yeah.
So what it is, I'll tell you the weakness. The leading weakness is around your career. So I'm going to strengthen you for that, but it's actually not your career, but somebody else's career that's weakening you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to that, and any connection that you have to that, that's the weakness there. Then the next weakness is experiencing improvement. So what that triggers is the opposites, that other people around you are being left behind. So that affects you energetically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to that and delete any cumulative effects there. Okay, so now when you think about it, how do you feel?
It still bothers me, but a little less.
A little less.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's see what's your perception. So your perception is off, it's low, so let's speed that up for you and delete any cumulative effects there. And then the next thing is I'm going to strengthen you for any kind of misinformation you had coming from the educational system, specifically other people, experts educating you. That's a weakness there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for that and delete any cumulative effects. And then any misinformation that comes from yourself, it's weakening you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for that. Tapping into your intuition, there is a weakness there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen that, and that is coming from your parents, more specifically your mom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to your mom back and forth, and any karma that you have between both of you, and make that strong for you. And then the internal dynamics of between you and your mom, there's a weakness there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen that. And also the family dynamics, there's a weakness there. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to strengthen that so it doesn't affect you. And then when they drain, it affects you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen them for that and delete any cumulative effects there. Okay, so now how do you feel?
I feel lighter.
Okay.
But I just feel like it's still so far away from the polarity, right? The issue, when I think about it, I just still feel like I don't know when it could be corrected or if ever, right? I just feel like...
So can you explain to me why you feel that it's your polarity?
Because when I check for polarity, right, the chosen and out, it doesn't...
Okay, how do you check for polarity? How do you check for polarity?
So right now I check it through muscle.
What's that?
Right now I check it through muscle testing.
Okay, so you have a weakness to muscle testing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to muscle testing. And the reason why is muscle testing for you is the opposite of your intuition. So there's a opposite going on there. So I'm going to strengthen you to that and delete any cumulative effects. So it's not the polarity that is off. It's that the muscle testing is off by you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to that. Also, I'm going to strengthen you to anything that's outdated. You have a weakness to things being outdated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to that. And that triggers being fast. So if something's outdated, everything else is too fast for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for that and delete any cumulative effects. Okay, so now when you think about it, how do you feel?
I feel better. But I
Okay.
don't know if I can still muscle test. It's still like when I test for polarity, it's still
Right.
everything's so weak, but I feel better about it.
Okay. So so here's some other stuff. Testing in general, you have a weakness to testing in general, so let's strengthen you for that. And that comes from negative experiences around medical testing in the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for that and the any cumulative effects there, medical testing in the past, now that you're strong too. And then the next one is using false tools. So you have what we have in the Yuen method we call false twos, and that's specifically subconscious lying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for that. And the other one is forgetting. So I'm going to strengthen you for that. And the third one is suppression. So we have all those three, and we'll delete any cumulative effects of that. Okay, so now when you think about it, how do you feel?
I feel better about it. There's a little bit of tightness in the chest now, but I feel better about it. Even though I still can't muscle test, but it's not bothering me as much.
Okay. No, my question is, why you want to use muscle testing?
Or even when I feel for it, my polarity still it's still off. It just shows that it's weak.
So, so you're saying the polarity is weak, or the muscle testing is weak?
I thought it was polarity, but then you said it might be my muscle testing because I was testing
in Yuen
method.
In the Yuen method, we don't use muscle testing, not Yuen
right.
mastery. So
right.
what's happening here is that you're using that's another weakness is you're using it's like you're using an iPhone,
right,
and trying to use DOS to operate the iPhone.
Right.
You see the difference? So of course you're going to get something wrong because it's DOS is ancient, and iPhone it's going to be off, and then when you constantly keep bringing that thought back that that's what it is, you keep making it worse and worse and worse because that's not it. So using old things. So what I'm doing is I make it strong, I make it even back, to each other. So old things and new things are even to each other. So now I want you to check again and see how you feel about your polarity.
Mm.
Does it still bother you when you think about your polarity?
I feel it. I'm feeling in my throat. I don't know.
You're feeling so okay. So
yeah.
the throat thing is not from you. It's a karma you have with 5 people on the call that are going to listen to. Not on the call, but people who are going to listen to the call. There's a karma there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to that karma. Now, how is the tightness in the throat?
It's better.
Okay, so now you were saying about you want to about the class that you want to take.
Yeah,
so I
don't want to take it. Yeah, go ahead.
I can share with you my teaching style, and then you can see how that is. The first thing is that there's no lecture. I mean, very little. That's not my teaching style, so it's not going to be a lecture. Now, there's a thing with in Yuen method mastery. What's very, very important is on using insight, and also plus the added knowing, which is even more powerful in addition to insight. So that's what you learn also in mastery is knowing. But we'll stick with the insight for now. Insight and strong and weak, and this is why. So the way my way of teaching is because I come from a background of martial arts and Tai Chi, but more of the martial Tai Chi, not for health. So in martial arts and Tai Chi, and also you can find it in other sports, like if you do competitive sports, as soon as you start thinking, you freeze and you lost. So you can't think. So what happens is when people are not using insight, they start thinking and analyzing, and all of a sudden now you're not really applying. Now you get improvements because in Yuen method mastery we have 3 things, which is strengthening, deleting, and reset. So you can strengthen anything, right? Anything can be strengthened and improved upon. So even if you just strengthen someone, even though you're using thinking and analyzing when you're working with somebody or assisting somebody, you'll get improvements. But the most powerful improvements is when you delete. And how do you know what to delete? Is with your insight and knowing between strong and weak. So the way one of the things that I'm implementing in the class is a way where you are pretty much forced not to think. So you have no choice but to do it, and that's one of the things. Some other stuff that I'm going to do that also gets you to tap into your insight and not thinking. So, I mean, doing less lecture is one of them, but also when you're partnering up with someone, when you with someone you're working on in the class, you're going to be forced not to think, because as soon as you start thinking, that's it. It's over. It's not Yuen method anymore. So that's one thing. Another thing that is going to be in the class is there's going to be a day apart, and this is huge because it gives you an opportunity to use it outside of your classroom, and then you come back and whatever questions you have, I can answer. And so that's really, really big. And plus, 5 weeks later, there's a Q&A call. So you have all of that opportunity to use it. Plus, there's going to be assignments. In order to be on the Q&A call, you have to complete the assignments, because a lot of the questions that people have is because they, if they complete the assignment, then they won't have those questions. And then the third thing that I don't see many Yuen method practitioners that I've met, and is that they don't implement tensing. So they'll have a client and that has a health challenge or a fitness challenge or a weight loss challenge, and they don't implement tensing with them. So they do a lot of sessions with them, and the results are not like they want it to be, or sometimes nothing happens. Tensing is like the foundation of Yuen method. So I'm going to teach everyone how to tense, when to tense, why to tense, and how to use it with your clients, and give them as a thing for them to do while they're not working with you. So that's the other thing. So that's some of the stuff that's going to be in the class.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
Just one question. So if anyone in the class has a weakness to learning anything, would you help them resolve that?
That happens automatic. That's just part of the class. It's first of all, it's a different way of learning. So it's not, when you're learning in the class, it's not the traditional way of learning in school, because we don't teach Yuen method mastery that way. So, but yeah, those things are getting the method on being able to implement it. That all happens in the background.
Okay, so my own health wouldn't get in the way of me learning.
Many people with health issues have taken Yuen method and it wasn't in their way. So why would it yours be? And then it's been taught for a very long time. So a lot of people came with health issues because of it, to learn it. So yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So the other thing I wanted to mention is the bonus part is that for the first 5 people who join by tomorrow at 6 p.m., they will get one free session with me, a Skype session. Okay, so we're going to go to the next caller. And if anybody else has any questions or wants assistance, just press *6. Hello, this is 1-4.
Hi, yes.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so what's your question or issue?
Well, I've lately been having a lot of pain and discomfort in my lower abdomen and lower back.
Okay. So can you feel it now?
Yes.
Okay. So pain and discomfort in your lower back and lower abdomen. So it's more coming from a spiritual thing, the first weakness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for that. Okay, then the next thing, I'm going to strengthen your brain. And then the third thing is I'm going to strengthen your heart. And then the fourth thing is your bones and your body. And the fifth thing is going to be your lymphatic system. Okay, so now how is the pain now? Is it the same or different?
It's a little different, a little less.
Different. Okay, so the next one is I'm going to strengthen you from some karma that you have with some coworkers. So I'm going to strengthen you to that. And then the third one, another one is fear. So I'm going to strengthen you to that. So past fear around relationships. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen that for you. And then the third one is strengthening you for fulfillment, but more specifically, any desires that you're having. So I'm going to strengthen you to that, and that's desires around relationships. So I'm going to strengthen you for that. Okay, so how is the stomach now?
I feel more relaxed, not as tense in that area.
Mm-hmm. And what about the pain?
The pain has, well, it started at about a 6, and I would say it's a 4 now.
Okay, so zero gravity. You have a weakness to zero gravity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for that and delete any cumulative effects and things dropping down. So I'm going to strengthen you for that. And then lift off. So there is a weakness to lifting off. So I'm going to strengthen you for those 3. Okay, how about now?
About the same. Still a 4.
Still a 4. Okay, so I'm going to speed up your perception with the speed of the planet back and forth. And also I'm going to strengthen your awareness. Also I'm going to strengthen your mind so you can, okay, how about now?
It's less in my lower back.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to make an evenness in your chest. So the front of your chest with the back of your chest is there's a unevenness there. So I'm going to strengthen that. And then also I'm going to strengthen the black holes and also energize the empty spaces inside your chest cavity. Okay, how about now?
I feel like a release everywhere, actually, like my whole body just relaxed a little bit. And the pain is less.
Okay, so what before it was what would you say this started at a 6?
Started at a 6 and went to a 4, maybe between the 3 and 4 now. If there was a burning sensation before, that's not really there right now.
So what's there now?
Kind of a dull ache.
Okay, so there's a weakness to misinterpreting your sensation. So what I'm doing is I'm going to strengthen that for you and delete any cumulative effects there. And then I'm going to strengthen you to any physical irritation, and then mental numbness, and then physical struggle. And we'll make that strong for you. And then psychic pain. So I'm going to strengthen you to that. And then one more because that's 4. And so I'm going to soreness, and that's emotional soreness. So I'm going to make you strong to that. So that's 5. I'm also going to strengthen your midline because your midline is weak, and the midline to support that and connect your midline. Okay, so now that's strong. So now how does it feel?
Better.
Better?
Yeah, it's at I would say a 3 now.
So now it's at a 3. Okay, so I'm going to improve your perception, and I'm going to strengthen your exit portals. Okay, how about now?
It's better. I feel lighter.
And how is the pain?
Between a 2 and a 3.
Okay, so there's a weakness to efforting. So what I'll do is I'll make you strong to that and delete any cumulative effects. So the efforting is around when you're trying to rejuvenate yourself. So when your body tries to rejuvenate itself, there's too much effort going on there. So what I'm doing is I'm going to strengthen that and delete any cumulative effects. And then tension is too much, so let's make that strong for you. So now tension, calmness, so the third one is calmness. So we're going to make all that even to each other, tense, untense. So, okay, so the word relax weakens you every time you hear that. So I'm going to strengthen you to that. Or any time anybody tells you to relax, there's a weakness there too. So I'm going to strengthen you to that and delete any cumulative effects there. Okay, so now how does it feel now?
The stomach is better. The back is lower back is about the same.
Okay, so stomach's better, lower back is the same. So lower back is coming from your forehead and your cervical spine from the front. And then your third one is your ovaries, left ovaries. So I'm going to make that strong. So that's 3 right there. Okay, so how do you feel now?
Better.
Better?
Very, very minimal.
Very minimal. Okay, yeah. So there's something stuck in your life. So let's unstuck that. So is there any specific area in your life that you feel that you're stuck in?
Yes. Settling down. I travel a lot for work, and okay. I have a resistance to settling down in one place.
Okay, so that's not it. What it is more is your fitness. So what I'm doing is I'm going to strengthen you to your fitness, and I'm going to go more specifically into in the fitness is we're going to strengthen your flexibility, make that strong for you, and the next one is your endurance. And then the third one is your speed, so I'm going to make that strong for you. And then if I have to compare your your speed level and your past to now, they're both weak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen them so they both are strong back and forth. Okay. So now how does it feel now?
The pain?
Yeah.
It's barely there. Okay. I can barely feel it.
And when you think about settling down, how does that feel to you now?
I want to, but I have a fear. I have some fears about losing a home, and I think that's why I'm afraid to pick one place to live in.
Okay. So I just want to mention to people on the call that don't know, the Yuen method also works for not only health issues, but it works for like goals, fears, relationships, finances, business, and stuff like that. So you have we're going to go into that. So you have a fear of settling down, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like if I do, that it'll be taken away from me.
Okay. So that is not it. So it's not weak for you. So what it is there's a karma there, and so I'm going to strengthen you to that karma. And then the next one is there's a negative life experiences around limitations, limitations when it comes to fitting in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to that and delete any cumulative effects. And so we'll make that strong for you. Now when you think about it, how do you feel?
I feel like I really want to find a place to live. The fear is a little bit less than it was when I first mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen your exit portals. And, okay, how about now? When you think about settling down?
I feel a little calmer.
Okay. So I want you to imagine that you're going to find the perfect place for you, and you're moving in there. How does that feel right now when you think about it?
Still a little anxiety when I think about it. It's like I have mixed feelings, like I want it, but I'm afraid of it at the same time.
So you have a weakness to uncertainty, so I'm going to strengthen you to that, and that's actually coming from your parents, not from you, so I'm going to make you strong to that and delete any cumulative effects there. Okay, how about now?
I feel like I can breathe easier.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that my chest was tight when I was talking about it.
So how is the pain in the lower back?
I'm not even aware of that right now.
And what about the stomach?
Stomach is maybe a 1, about a 1, just a little.
Okay, so there's
sore, but not pain really.
Okay, so I'm going to strengthen you for integration, so things can integrate faster. Okay, do you have any questions about the class in New York?
No, I'm in California right now, so I really wish that I could do that.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So if anybody has any questions, all you got to do is press *6. If you like to register, like I said, the first 5 people that register by tomorrow evening, at 6 p.m. Will receive one session with me as a bonus. The other thing is you can go to the page where you can register for the class is thrive2infinity.com/YM1NYC. That's the letter Y, the letter M, the number 1, and NYC. So again, thrive2infinity.com, YM1NYC. Okay, so we got 7-3 back on the call. So how are you feeling now? Any improvement?
The hip is improved. The quadricep and knee, that's where the pain is right now.
Okay. So what I'm going to give you is some tensing exercises, okay? So the first thing is you're going to tense your cervical, your neck region. So so basically when you're tensing, you're trying to make the muscle shrink and not expand. So you hold it for a second and less. So can you do that right now?
I'm trying to see if I can do that.
Yeah, just tense it, and you want it to shrink. You don't want it to expand. And then you let go. It's just for about a second. So do that like 5 times.
Should do it 5 times. Okay, 5 times.
And the next thing is I want you to tense your head.
How do I tense my head?
Just try to tighten your head, make it tight like the brain. It's basically you want to tense the brain part. So just imagine that your brain is shrinking and then it's expanding. Once you start doing it, your body's going to take over. Is it tensing?
I'm trying.
Okay.
Yeah, see, you asked me to do something I never tried in my life. So
okay. That's fine. So I'm going to give you something else. I want you to see how your knees feel right now.
Okay.
And did any changes happen?
It's a little better.
Okay. So now I want you to see how they feel. So pick a knee. Pick one knee right now. Okay. So now I want you to run your thought all up and down your spine, like 5 times really fast. Okay, now go back to your knee.
Okay.
And how does your knee feel?
That feels better.
Okay. So this is your, I don't want to say homework.
It's homework.
Throughout the day, do those 3 things.
Okay, I'm making a note of that.
Yeah, throughout the day, do those 3 things. You have a lot of different things going on. So, you have the knee, you have the hip. So they're all separate different things, but this should put you in the right direction of continuous improvement.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for coming back on the line. The other thing that would also assist in improving is re-listening to the call. And then how do you know when it's no longer needed is when you no longer feel improvements from listening to the call. Okay. And then, of course, a private session would make it even better, but I'm talking about what you have now. Re-listening to the call will improve it because it will reinforce the strengthenings. And then once it stops or the pain's gone, then there's no reason to re-listen to the call for that reason.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming back on the line.
Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Okay, we're going to go to our last caller, and that is area last 2 digits is 23.
Yes, how you doing?
How are you?
Pretty good. Yes, I've been having pressure in my head lately.
Pressure in your head?
And it starts in my ears.
Okay, so do you feel that now?
A little bit now.
A little bit now. So when it comes back, every time it comes back, it weakens you. And more specifically, it triggers some negative life experiences for you. So I'm going to strengthen you to that. And that's specifically negative life experiences about limitations around your health. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen that for you and delete. So past health issues from lifetimes does not affect you in the future, so or presently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen that for you and delete any cumulative effects. Okay, so now when you check the pressure in your head, how is that now?
Yeah, it feels a little better, like it's going away a little bit.
Going away a little bit. The next weakness is I'm going to strengthen the bottom of your body, of your hips area, make that strong. I'm also going to strengthen the exit portals there. And then there's a weakness to laying down. So transitioning from down to up, there's a weakness there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to that. And that triggers ups and downs in relationships. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen that for you. Okay, how about now?
Yeah, that feels better. Yeah, feels a lot better now.
So is the tension still there?
Not now.
Okay. So any other questions?
And one more about finances too. Things have been stuck lately. Nothing has been moving financially. I've been unemployed. I've been trying to start my own business, but nothing is happening.
Okay. So you have a weakness of taking action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to that and delete any cumulative effects. And that taking action is actually coming from your bank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you to your bank, back and forth, and that weakness there and that karma that you have with your bank. So I'm going to make you strong to that. And the next one is achieving your wants, your basic needs. You have a weakness to your basic needs because that triggers slavery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen you for that and delete any cumulative effects there and any karma that you have with that. And then the third one is trauma, which I'm going to strengthen you, experiences, but not your trauma that happened in your family from your ancestors. So I'm going to strengthen you to that. Okay, so now how do you feel about the stuckness in your business?
Things feel a lot calmer, a lot smoother.
So now when you think about taking action towards your business, how does that feel to you?
I feel more confident.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, so again, if you can go to www.thrive2infinity.com/YM1NYC, and you can register for the upcoming class in New York, which is at the end of this month. Again, go to thrive2infinity.com/YM1NYC. Thank you, everybody, for being on the call, and I'll connect with you soon. Bye-bye for now.